Hello NBA fans, every day we have news about the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm a Lakers fan and I'm counting on you to subscribe to the channel and leave your. The Lakers are interested in further strengthening their roster, and a top player has been suggested to win now. Jrue Holiday is an experienced and elite defender who could make the Lakers a great team. The Lakers made a solid move by acquiring Marcus Smart in free agency, but some reports suggest that they may look to build upon this by trading for Jrue Holiday. The Los Angeles Lakers have become a far more relevant team in the offseason. After being very quiet in the early days of free agency, the Purple and Gold got the ball rolling with some impressive additions to bolster their roster strength. Among their latest moves, the Lakers acquired former DPOY Marcus Smart. Once Smart clears waivers after being bought out by the Washington Wizards, he is expected to sign with the Lakers on a 2-year, $11 million deal. The addition of Smart significantly strengthens the Lakers' backcourt rotation. But considering their aspirations of becoming title contenders, the Lakers still have more work to do. To address this, FastBreakJournal.com's Grant Afseth presented Portland Trail Blazers guard Jrue Holiday as a potential target for the Purple and Gold. He wrote, "Multiple sources recently told FastBreakJournal.com that Holiday is a name to monitor, particularly as a potential target for the Los Angeles Lakers. That's not to say active conversations are taking place, but his name continues to surface in NBA circles as the team evaluates options to add more talent around LeBron James and Luka Doncic. Other teams are monitoring the situation, though the Lakers are widely viewed as one of the most natural fits if Portland explores a deal. This presents an interesting outlook for the Lakers. The notion of pairing a former DPOY and Smart with one of the best defenders in the league could be promising for the Purple and Gold. With this possibility in mind, we explore a trade proposal that would facilitate such a deal to go through. Proposed trade details. Los Angeles Lakers receive Jrue Holiday. Portland Trail Blazers receive Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, Dalton Knecht. Given that this trade package is primarily formulated to help the Lakers get better, it has significant benefits for them. But as constructed, this could have upside for the Trail Blazers too. The Lakers acquire a defensive stopper. For the Lakers, this trade is of mutual interest for the team as well as Holiday himself. After being traded from the Boston Celtics, reports were suggesting that Holiday was annoyed because he was traded to Portland. This immediately sparked rumors, marking a potential exit from the team before even debuting with them. Should the Lakers successfully trade for Holiday, they would not only be acquiring a defensive stopper, but they'd also be adding a 2-time champion to their roster. In the last 5 years, Holiday has been a part of 2 title-winning squads. His recent experiences of winning it all could be crucial in driving success for the Purple and Gold this upcoming season. The 35-year-old also brings tons of experience and productivity with him. With averages of 11.1 points, 4.3 rebounds, and 3.9 assists per game on shooting splits of 44.3% from the field and 35.3% from three-point range, Holiday is the ideal complementary player for a star-driven team. On a team headlined by stars like Luka Doncic and LeBron James, the veteran would carve out a place for himself by fulfilling critical team needs, something that could prove pivotal to the Lakers' success. Should the Lakers pursue Holiday? There are virtually no downsides to pursuing Jrue Holiday for the Lakers. While they will be looking to part ways with expiring contracts, and Dalton Knecht frequently being mentioned in trade chatter, the Purple and Gold will simply be doing what they plan to do. The addition of Holiday gives the Lakers a lot of depth, particularly in their defensive rotations. His reliable presence on both ends of the floor could also be essential in developing on-court chemistry. But considering that the 2X All-Star has 3 years left on his contract, the Purple and Gold may hesitate to pursue the deal. Given their inclination to keep cap space clear for the 2026 offseason, acquiring Holiday would essentially go against these plans. Lakers officially release guard after disappointing tenure in LA. There are times where a low-risk acquisition can be very significant immediately for an NBA team. The player in question can outplay any expectations previously had to be an integral member of the squad, and by proxy a very productive professional player. This scenario has occurred countless times over the years. Quentin Grimes is most notably one of those examples. He went from being a total afterthought to a legitimate rotation player on the cusp of a very lucrative contract. Additionally, there's also a high probability that one of those low-risk signings end up unproductive, where the team wipes their hands clean of the move and progresses on to another player. Shake Milton came to the Los Angeles Lakers in the deal that also brought the team Dorian Finney-Smith from the Brooklyn Nets. There wasn't a ton expected of Milton, though there were some hopes that he could be an athletic wing defender with the ability to hit the occasional three-pointer. Based on what transpired Sunday afternoon, Milton's tenure with the Lakers did not move the needle enough. Milton was officially waived by the Lakers. Had he stayed on the team any longer, his $3 million contract would have been guaranteed for next season. By cutting ties with the 28-year-old Oklahoma native, it enabled the Lakers to not only open up a roster spot, but also available money to sign Marcus Smart. Milton played sparingly for the Lakers, making 30 appearances while averaging 3.9 points per game on 29.4% from three-point range. When Smart became available, it was only a matter of time before the Lakers opted to move on from the SMU product. Smart's arrival gives the team not only a bona fide defender with a real pedigree, but it also helps to enhance the ceiling of the squad assuming he can stay relatively healthy. Milton had the look of someone that could have helped the Lakers. His profile in theory fit what the team needed. However, head coach J.J. Redick cut the rotation down considerably from what it was. His trust in players on the wing sat primarily with Finney-Smith and Jordan Goodwin over the likes of Milton and Dalton Knecht. Milton is now free to seek employment elsewhere once he clears waivers. Could Lakers trade LeBron James if they start season slowly? LeBron James is still under contract with the Los Angeles Lakers, but the rumblings about his future continue to flood social media. He's inching closer to the end of his career, and while this might be his final season, he certainly looks like someone who could continue to play at a high level for another year or two. That's where the Dallas Mavericks could come in. According to John Hollinger of The Athletic, James may have given some serious thought to playing for them. In particular, the whispers about James having eyes for Dallas, a place where he could have teamed up with former teammates Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving and young Phenom Cooper Flagg, before opting into his deal were hard to ignore, Hollinger wrote. While James wasn't going to give up north of $50 million to fulfill that wish, Hollinger believes that the Lakers could choose to move him and get something in return as opposed to letting him walk for free. Obviously, James wasn't willing to leave $52 million on the table to take a non-taxpayer MLE or something similar from the Mavericks or another team, Hollinger added. Nonetheless, this situation bears watching from both sides, particularly if LA starts the regular season slowly. The Lakers are pivoting towards superstar guard Luka Doncic, which only makes sense, given his youth. But if the team doesn't hit the ground running, and if it doesn't get any sort of insurance about James' future with the organization, it might make sense for all parties to work something out. The Lakers are financially stuck for now after signing Marcus Smart. The Lakers have been plenty active since free agency began, but signing Marcus Smart may be their last big move for now. Despite entering the offseason well above the salary cap, the Lakers have been busy since free agency began. They split their $14.1 million non-taxpayer mid-level exception between DeAndre Ayton and Jake LaRavia, and they just signed Marcus Smart to a 2-year, $10.5 million deal via the biannual exception. Prior to signing Smart, the Lakers were already hard-capped at the first apron since they used the non-taxpayer MLE, and they sat roughly $900,000 below that line. To carve out enough space under the first apron to sign Smart, they had to waive both Shake Milton, whose $3 million salary was fully non-guaranteed until July 20th, and Jordan Goodwin, who had only $25,000 of his $2.3 million salary guaranteed once the Lakers picked up their team option in late June. After waiving Milton and Goodwin and signing Smart, the Lakers now sit $1.1 million below the first apron. Since they're hard-capped, they cannot cross the first apron under any circumstance between now and June 30, 2026. Luckily, they've already become adept at navigating tight apron margins, as they entered last season only $45,000 below the second apron after LeBron James took slightly less than his max salary. Had they been above the second apron, they wouldn't have been able to aggregate contracts to steal Luka Doncic away from Nico Harrison and the Dallas Mavericks at the NBA trade deadline in February. Since the Lakers aren't allowed to cross the first apron this year, they won't be subject to the punishing team-building restrictions that other title hopefuls face. They're allowed to aggregate contracts in trades and take back more salary in a trade than they send out, although they still have to finish any deal below the first apron, no matter what. The NBA wouldn't allow the proposed trade to go through otherwise. They'll also be allowed to sign anyone on the buyout market, even players who were previously earning more than the non-taxpayer mid-level exception. Teams above either apron can't. With that said, it might take until around the time of the buyout market heating up for the Lakers to fill their one remaining open roster spot. Since they're only $1.1 million under the first apron, they currently don't have enough room below the hard cap to sign anyone to even a veteran minimum contract. They'd have to shed salary in a trade before they can make another free agent signing. If the Lakers stick with their current roster, when would they be able to fill that 15th roster spot? The short answer is mid-January. Here's the longer version. Anyone with 2 or more years of NBA experience would count as $2.3 million against the Lakers' cap sheet if they sign a one-year, veteran minimum contract this offseason. However, once the regular season starts, minimum contracts begin to prorate based on the number of days remaining in the season. The regular season begins on October 21st this year, and although the NBA hasn't announced when it ends yet, a safe guess would be Sunday, April 12th. That means there would be 174 days in the regular season. Divide the exact salary, $2,296,274, by 174 and you get roughly $13,197, which is how much a veteran minimum contract should prorate daily once the regular season begins. From there, you just need to divide the Lakers' remaining space under the apron, $1,099,194, by $13,197 and you get roughly 83.3. So, if my back-of-the-napkin math is correct, the Lakers will need to wait 84 days from the start of the regular season, which would be January 12, 2026, before they're able to fill that final roster spot with someone who has 2 or more years of NBA experience. It would take less time if they wanted to sign a rookie or someone with only 1 year in the league. A number of teams often leave a roster spot open heading into the season to maintain flexibility at the trade deadline, so it wouldn't be particularly unusual for the Lakers to go into the 2025-26 season with only 14 players on standard contracts. However, 2 of those 14 are Bronny James, who played only 181 total minutes as a rookie last season, and rookie second-round pick Adou Thiero. Depth could become a major issue for the Lakers if the injury bug begins to pop up. Had the Lakers signed Jackson Hayes to a standard 1-year vet-min deal rather than via non-bird rights, they'd have an extra $1.15 million in breathing room under the first apron. That was basically the difference between them having to waive Goodwin before signing Smart or being able to keep him on the roster. Granted, the Lakers might have chosen to waive Goodwin either way to create an open roster spot and avoid cutting into their wiggle room under the first apron once the regular season began. Regardless, the Lakers roster is now likely set for the rest of the offseason unless they swing a trade to free up more space under the first apron. Cavaliers urged to trade for Lakers LeBron James for 5 reasons. The Cleveland Cavaliers have been urged to trade for Los Angeles Lakers star LeBron James for 5 reasons. Greg Swartz of Bleacher Report outlined the 5 reasons in a column called "The Real Reason Cleveland Cavaliers Should Trade for LeBron James." Unfortunately, no team faces a tougher challenge when trying to acquire James, who chose to pick up a $52.6 million player option for the 2025-26 season, Swartz wrote. The Cavaliers are the only NBA team above the second apron luxury tax line, meaning they cannot combine multiple player salaries to trade for one player, in this case, James. The same reason the Cavs face this restriction is precisely why they should pursue a trade for the greatest player in franchise history for yet another reunion. They should trade for James, although the rationale has as much, or more, to do with off the court as it does on. James has played for the Cavaliers twice. He's the greatest player in franchise history and will get his number 23 jersey retired by the organization one day. Here are the 5 reasons why Swartz thinks the Cavaliers should trade for James. Cavs' crushing cap situation. LeBron's contract is key. The importance of getting out of the second apron. LeBron improves Cavs' title chances. Fairy tale ending exists, for LeBron and Cleveland. James, 40, will make $52.6 million next season in the final year of his contract. He turns 41 in December and is the oldest active player in the NBA. A 4-time MVP, James made the All-NBA second team and finished 6th in MVP voting last season. He's still an elite player despite being the oldest active player in the league. James averaged 24.4 points, 7.8 rebounds, and 8.2 assists for the Lakers last season. The 4-time Finals MVP shot 51.3% from the field, 37.6% from beyond the arc and 78.2% from the free throw line. The Cavaliers were the number 1 seed in the East last season. They swept the Miami Heat in the first round of the playoffs but lost to the Indiana Pacers in the second round in 5 games. Cleveland hasn't advanced past the conference semifinals since James left town in 2018.